end of it all. Yeah.
And talking about the price of food, we know that there's been protests in some parts of the country already, and it feels like it is spreading as the cost of living protests spread to Oyo State. Well, that and more we'll be talking about on the Roundtable. Let's officially welcome you to Hard Facts. My name is Kimberly. And we got Itodo.
Yes, the Deacon is back.
Yep.
I haven't been with you in a minute.
You know what? I'm even surprised I can still recognize you. Like, hello, stranger.
Right, but it's great to be back with you, and we'll have a great time talking about various things today on Hard Facts.
Indeed, we will. So let's start off with the protest that apparently is gaining momentum. Are we looking at another quote-unquote NSAS kind of situation going on there? Or this is just getting ahead of ourselves, just pocket of very hungry people asking the government to do something about their situation?
Yeah, well, a few weeks after residents of Kano, Niger, Lagos and some parts of the country took to the streets over the economic hardship, a similar incident occurred in Ibadan, Oyo State. On Monday morning, protesters converged on the Mokola area of Ibadan over the high cost of living, food inflation and hardship in the country. Now, they wielded placards with inscriptions such as "The poor are starving," "Tinubu, don't forget your promises," amongst others. Policemen were seen guarding the protesters against taking laws into their hands. Now, the police on Sunday had warned that no breach of peace will be allowed during the protest in the state, and Nigerians have been complaining bitterly about the current situation. Now, reports have it about how Nigerians in some parts of the country have resorted to using charcoal as the cost of liquefied petroleum gas, otherwise known as cooking gas, has continued to skyrocket. And this is just as the cost of charcoal has also risen due to the high demand, with some people switching to firewood. Even though I would say that's a great tasting meal, but the stress of breaking the firewood and all of that, it's a bit worrisome.
And then also the health implication and hazard on the women who are exposed to it. There are quite a lot of reports as to the damage it does long term.
Yeah, but right now a 12.5 kg cylinder would go for about 18,000 naira due to the increase. And last November, following a rise in the price of cooking gas per kg from about 700 to above 1,100 naira, the Minister of State Petroleum Resources constituted a committee headed by the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, to come up with recommendations on how to boost supplies and crash the price within a week. Now, despite the assurance, the price of cooking gas has continued to increase, with a kilogram selling for 1,400 naira in some parts of the country, which translates to 17,500 naira for a 12.5 kg cylinder. And just recently as well, IMF has also warned that we might be looking at a 44% rise in inflation, warning the government on various things they need to do to ensure that inflation doesn't go above what it is right now. As of last week, the report that came in for January were just a little above 29%. And we can see how things are rising every day. You wake up
year
one
on
day
year, the report I saw between the start of this year and towards the start of last year was about 33.33%, looking at almost about 10% increase in the difference that we saw. So, well, let's hope things look up. I don't know how that is going to happen. I don't know the differential that is going to kick in any difference. There's no such, no write it in English, but that is me finding it very difficult to even, just say anything. But here's something. Last week, the government, after the meeting with the president, the governors, and the FEC meeting, and resolution was we're not going to import food. We would try and go after hoarders, because the government is giving the impression that perhaps they're the ones responsible for the hoarding and the price hike. We've seen that before. People will take you back to the 80s when Buhari tried it and put all the blames on those who are hoarding. Now, I'm not saying it's cool to hoard food. If people are crying for it and it's not in supply as much as people want, and the hoarding is driving up the price, yes, government, go all out and get them. People say, it's people's business, they can keep food all you want. No, sir, that's not how it works. You can't just pile up when there's an absolute need for it to be put out. Even though I know, there might be some that are needed to save. You're not going to go into your barn and eat everything there, or your grain, whatever, reserve, and collect everything because you're hungry. You have to keep some back. So I can understand that. But then, already, there are Nigerians who are saying, this whole, we're not going to import food, we'll try and be self-sustaining is not going to work. And they have listed tons of other factors that are responsible for where we are, what is going on at the moment, that we can't fix in short term. So we need to somehow import more food into the country. I've seen quite a number of articles, one article and a few opinion pieces and thoughts shared on social media as to even big countries who are importing food. But then they have something, some other bargaining power, some other advantage on their side. For us in Nigeria, honestly, aside from oil, what do we really have going for us? So this conversation of should we or shouldn't we import food at the moment is a raging one. And as we talk about this food scarcity and the protest, we want to get your thought on it.
But is the issue really about importing food? Because, I mean, it's great that we're looking towards local production and improving what we currently have going. But the worry is what measures have been put in place prior to saying no importation should happen in terms of food items. We can't just keep going for these measures wherein we're stuck and people have to resort to drastic measures to be able to get food items. I'm hoping that with whatever measures are put in place, it's going to bring immediate, improvement in the food situation in Nigeria, and not put us where we are with the fuel subsidy right now, wherein we didn't quite have measures in place, and we have to grapple with the after effects of the removal of fuel subsidy, which has in turn brought us to where we are in terms of increase in prices of literally everything, transportation, feeding. We see that the minimum wage, we're having a conversation about the it being increased, but then the thoughts of assuming that you might be paid $1 million naira, which might not be necessarily valuable, seeing that the naira is depreciating, is also cause for concern. So the government literally needs to look towards improving the lives of Nigeria, not just getting paid more money, but the value of what we're spending should also be looked at, and that is local production. But measures should be put in place.
I mean, we're not producing anything extra. We floated the naira, like leaving the naira bare to external forces and competing forces. It tells you that it might not be the very glamorous of time at the moment. But let's get a few thoughts in before we move on to the next story. It's the Roundtable, and I would welcome your opinion, your thought on this stories as we look at also the cost of living, in which we're seeing a number of people protest in different parts of the country already. Are we going to see more of this protest or not? And would importing food fix the problem, or what we have going on at the moment is way beyond just supplying food at the moment and importing them? Because like you pointed out, Itodo, there's also the fear that the more you import, who knows, the price might even jack up. You never can tell. A lot of forces might kick in at this point, except the government will come and subsidize even further, which I pretty much doubt they will want to do. But never can tell. So let's start with this caller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Itodo.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Kim. Talking about even the source of energy, the gas, even the kerosene is no longer available. The charcoal, which is left for the poor, now is beyond the reach of common people. A bag of charcoal that used to be 800 then, now is getting to 8,000. A bag of charcoal. Nothing is within the reach of common people. People have been pushed. Even this time, it's not even pushed. Have been crushed to the wall. And the police are telling protesters not to carry out an act that will cause a breach of peace. But the full security breach has been carried out against the people of Nigeria. People can no longer feed. People are going hungrier and hungrier. And they are like, we don't know what would happen next. We don't know. Things are terrible for people. Millions of people are losing jobs, no source of living. Workers are rationing going to work. We don't know if it will be possible for people to go to work. And this Taga protest, one in Mina, one in Ibadan, one in Kano. Maybe it's not a genuine. We want a spontaneous protest here in Abuja.
All right, then, Abubakar, thank you very much. And talking about protest, there are tons of ways to go about it. Like a man who is lone protesting in Akwa Ibom State, just taking a walk and protesting the cost of living. And, well, he's in the news, so apparently that made some point. Where's that story again? I think I saw it somewhere. Economic hardship, man embark on lone protest in Akwa Ibom. So it feels like you can do this solo also.
Good afternoon.
Tons of ways to go about. Uh-oh. Okay.
Are you there? Welcome.
Journalistic oracle. I really missed you, man.
I missed you
I
more.
asked of you several times.
I'm here now.
Because a lot of issues that is on ground, I needed you to be consulted to in order to know what's going on and what next steps to take. You were not around. Anyway, I'm very sure you come with more power and more energy. Oracle.
Yes, sir.
There is food. Nobody says there is no food. There is food. But high cost of food is what we are talking about. Cool. I carry 50,000 enter market. Some days ago, I enter market to get something. And when I buy the things, I imagine what I have at hand and the money I've just spent. And while I was just thinking about it, I suddenly saw a young girl covering hijabs and they wrote APC. I didn't know when I began to cry to the girl. APC. APC, see what I bought, APC. And the young girl began to laugh. There is food everywhere, but the high cost of food, high cost of everything, high cost of everything. I saw a news the other day, this guy that sang, this was his name in Yoruba land, that sings Itodo. And it was like, why people ask him not to increase his own price of charging people to come and sing, no be Jagaban, don't remove fuel. So everything, the high cost. You have 50,000, it can't do you anything. You have 100,000, you can't take it to any market. That's what people are protecting about. And we know the cost of it is subsidy removal, the way it was removed with Mozo. Please, we heard he has started paying back subsidy. He should take the fuel back and let's see where to start from. My own oracle.
Thank you very much, Justice of Peace.
Oracle.
All right, Justice of Peace, thank you very much. And talking about petrol, I know that is it the Truck Drivers Association,
drivers.
Tanker drivers are protesting starting today.
Welcome. Hello.
Welcome. Go ahead. What's your name?
Okay, good evening.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Covenant.
Welcome.
Yes, sorry, good afternoon. Yes. Itodo, good afternoon.
Welcome, Covenant.
Okay. See, it's annoying. Honestly, it's really annoying and it's heartbreaking where we are in this country now. I imagine, assuming there was no oil in Nigeria, what would have been the fate of the common man? And what would have been the fate of the common man? Kim, my wife is pregnant now. Just of this back, when the market, let's buy maybe all these hospital requirements and the small things she needs. 50,000 couldn't buy anything. 50K couldn't buy anything. And up to now, we've not even bought any single clothes for the coming baby. That's what the current market prices. I'm not even talking about the food stuff. Everything just skyrocketed. Is it house? Like 1 bedroom flat, the 450, ordinary maraba, 450, 500, ordinary maraba. Everything just went up. And somebody is telling us to be patient. How? You see, we know the problem, but they don't want to solve the problem. Just because they live in glass houses, AC, fully conditioned houses, they don't even care. If you go to Asoko now, it's the kind of cars you see there, you wonder how. It's affecting us. They should help us. They should help us.
All right.
Covenant.
Thank you very much, Covenant. Talking about, please bearing with us, I think it was the son of the president, Sheyi, who said that. But apparently, nobody should be upset by that. It's a line that has been used for a long, long time. Like, just give the government some time. Be patient. The last administration ruined us. They economically strangulated us. Give some time for the government policy to kick in properly. So it's just one of those lines anymore. I don't get upset by it, but half the time it's the person who is saying it that just makes it all wrong.
But don't you think it would be easier if a timeline were giving? So you're told you would suffer for
Nobody's
7
giving you
years,
any
and afterwards you would eat the plenty that would come out of the policies you've had to endure over time. It would make it a lot more easier for the average Nigerian to be able to understand. But wherein you're told to readjust, but then the government who is advising you is not doing
well,
the same
technically
thing.
he's not a government. And Fela did not sing suffering and smiling for just randomly. That's what they are telling you in simple ones. See, just suffer with a smile on your face. Be patient. All right. All right, we'll take one more call and go on to the next story.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, King Itodo.
Welcome.
The Oracle.
You're welcome. You're welcome, sir.
Abubakar. The Justice of Peace. Elder Timi Odeni for Airport Road, I greet you. I want to talk about, you thought where pains me, most especially in the aspect of this gas. Gas now is 17,500 naira, 12.5 kg. Almost 18,000 naira now. So government should provide security, most especially in the aspect of not stopping the importation of food. I say most especially the food crisis we are facing in this country is about this insecurity. I always say that most of the food that we consume in this country is produced by these local farmers. And most of the local farmers have been sent from their ancestral home. When you go to the when you go to the southwest, you see a lot of them. When you go to the south, when you go to Niger Delta, you see most of these people from the northeast, northwest, and north central have been sent from their ancestral home. In some places, they have to pay in order to harvest their crops. You remember Bornongwari, you remember Katsina, Sokoto, and Zamfara. They have to pay to the bandits in order to harvest their crops. So these are where the government should focus on. They should focus on security. Then I think other things will follow. Protest in Oyo. So we hope people who have done that protest, just like you made mention of answers, we will pray that this won't done the way it happens during the answers. Thank you for giving me the privilege.
Thank you very much, Selassie. Appreciate that. Let's look at the next story.
All right, talking about fuel, many filling stations in the FCT are currently closed, leading to long queues by motorists at a few outlets dispensing PMS, popularly called petrol. Operators in the downstream oil sector confirmed the development was due to the suspension of operations by the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners in fulfillment of their threat to down tools beginning today, Monday. The NNPCL filling station on Arab Road in Kubwa was closed on Monday morning. The corn oil filling station along the Zuba-Kubwa Expressway had long queues. NNPCL retail outlets in the CBD area of Abuja also had very long queues on Monday morning, as many stations run by independent marketers closed shop due to the halt in the transportation of petroleum products by NATO members. On Monday, reports have it that the federal government had ordered oil marketers to negotiate with NATO to avert the planned suspension of operations by its members with respect to the lifting of petroleum products nationwide beginning Monday. A report stated that oil marketers and executives of NATO met about 6 times between Saturday and Sunday following the declaration of the petroleum products transporters to halt operation. So pretty much the update on what is happening with the NATO and the fact that they have raised concerns over the high cost of diesel required to power their trucks for the transportation of petroleum products across the country. They told correspondents that diesel prices were between 1,250 to 1,400 per litre, depending on the area of purchase, and that is why they're trying to bring attention to what they're having to handle, and that's why they're shutting down the operations. So,
well, there you have it. If you're wondering why we're seeing a bit of queue building up and scarcity in some part of town, that's the reason for it. So we're keeping our fingers crossed and hoping they resolve this one faster than immediately, because the last thing you want on all you have highlighted and complained about is for the fuel to now disappear. That would just be a little too much to handle at one go. So let's go back to the phone line, shall we?
0700 951 0000 08095 97 4869 are the numbers to call. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook, so you can go on there and drop your thoughts. Welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Itodo.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kim. How are you?
I'm good. You're welcome.
My name is Comrade Salis on the line.
Welcome, comrade.
For my case about this issue of food in this country. You know what is happening, Kim? This country, we don't get food. The food, they go outside country. Yeah. They go all this Togo, Ghana, Cameroon, all these, they are taking our food there. Because our currency is down. Their own currency, but they take it there, they will get more money. When you go for all this market now, you see trailers. They'll buy our food and go. And that because of that, there's no food enough in the country. Because of security, people cannot go farm enough. And people are carrying our food again to go and sell for another country now when we are suffering. And all these big men, they are not helping matter. They are using their money to buy food and keep. So that the money should go up before they sell it. Because when you see, I go to market last at least 3 months, the corn was go down almost 400, 500, so like that. Before you know, they buy the whole corn out. Now corn is high now. And you see, at that time they are buying on trailers. Where they are carrying to go, they are hiding the food. You see, so what is going on is that in the country, they need to put a task force to help us. If the task force, this thing is going to get out of hand, because now we are crying this year. Next year is going to be worse. So let us pray.
All right.
Is this year not even a little too young for you to begin to even worry how next year is going to? I mean, you just want to pull through this one first. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Hello?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Just Abuja calling this afternoon.
Go ahead.
The only message I have for the lecture is to tell Mr. President to revise back our fuel pump price so that the common one can survive this in this situation Nigeria find themselves at this moment. So they should thank him, those who close to him, to pass this message to him. We voted for him for the betterment of the lecture. I know we all know that he tried his best, but concerning this fuel matter, we should bring our fuel pump back as it is before to focus on other things that will move this nation forward. Thank you very much.
All right.
Well, do we think that returning the price to the old rate, which I pretty much doubt, is going to fix this? It feels like it's a potpourri of a lot of things and policies and actions and inactions that has brought us to this point. And honestly, it does even predate this government. It's just that their own policies have kind of like fueled it. That fire, fanned it to an inferno that is what we're experiencing at this point in time. The floating of the naira. I mean, one key area where you see coupled with the subsidy remover, it's already constricting the space at this point in time. So just removing one of it.
But if reports still have it that the government is still paying fuel subsidy, I mean, that's a bit worrisome. That defeats the purpose of removal in the first place.
No, it's the government wants to reduce some of the weight on itself.
Is it reduced at all? Because we see people going through the hardship following the consequences of that removal. So, the thought is if it's brought back, it would be able to lessen whatever pressures Nigerians are currently going through. And remember, at the time when it was removed, and there were talks about increasing the price of fuel following the increase in the dollar to the naira rate. NLC warned if it ever happened, if it moved past the rate it is right now, they'll go on an indefinite strike without any warning. So it's possible that what is being paid is to prevent it, saying that the landing cost is higher than usual.
If the government wasn't intervening to a certain extent, just think about it. If we're left to the mercy of the forces, and given the fact that we've even floated our currency at this point in time, just picture it, how much we'll be paying in the original cost of importing petrol into the country. So the government is already doing something behind the scene to ensure that the price stays consistent. So to say they should take us back, I don't know, it sounds like it's a tall order at this point in time. But yeah, a lot of people have insisted that this is the best call at this point in time. Where's the money going to come from? More borrowing?
Well, we'll have to wait and see how things play out.
I mean, because we're getting government officials who are saying, see, we are broke. Things are bad. It's not, we're not going to play pretty here. Things are really not good. But yeah, we're dealing with transition within the party itself. So they would be a bit conservative as to how they criticize policies of the government. If it was a different political party, God help us, we'll be waking up with that mantra that last government ruined us. The government sank us to the ground. They left us in so much debt. It would take a miracle to get out of it. But we're dealing of a party that is still there within itself, unable to criticize their policies, but yet somehow wanting you to understand telepathically how it happened. So, well, we'll see how it goes.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, James.
Welcome. Go ahead, please. Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's Obasanjo from Amali.
Go ahead.
Itodo, we are still talking. That is why the government took it as if the masses don't even know what they are doing. So we are still talking. If we keep quiet, all of us, everybody, get pain. No, it maybe that right time. Why? Because I don't even see the means of even attempt at the calling. Itodo. All this calling, I don't even see the means of it. Why? Because we are talking now. They will listen. They will say a lot of we have been sponsored by media, or we have been sponsored by the politicians to disturb them in their dorm room, in their cars. Sir, I don't even know the reasons. That since when you came on board, you said the subsidy should be removed. The NSC now came on board. Oh yeah, implement the salary structure. Up to date, the salary structure is not there. Then you said you want to fill the whole nation with a lot of palliatives. The whole palliatives run out. We don't even know whether the palliatives stay at the sky. We don't even know. It reaches where? We don't even know. Then the student loans. What are we be talking about? Then the IG, is it the CNG cars that you said you provide? Nothing. Nothing.
All right.
You have been saving a lot of trillions naira from the subsidy. Where is the money?
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing. See, everybody, see, let me cut you short. Niger State today, it was a primary school student. They hold a debate. Do you know what a primary school student said to the government? You watch it, maybe you watch it.
There's that video from Niger State, the guy with the white glove who was he went viral. You seen it,
I
yeah?
saw the video, yes.
Yeah, it's from Niger State.
Oh, I
so
see.
a lot of trending issues with the government. It's a lot of budget.
Okay.
Big one, sir. Big one.
All right then. Thank you very much, Obasanjo. Let's run through some comments quickly.
Yeah, let's look at what you're saying on Facebook platform. And Sonny Joe in Suleja says, the cause of this problem is clear. Why is government doing us this? Bring back subsidies. Simple. And Moazo John, the CC, says, I believe it's a matter of time. If not, in Nigeria, whatever goes up hardly comes down. While James says the dollar, pound, and euro are also facing inflationary trends as we speak. Sonny Joe, okay, took that message earlier. And on WhatsApp, Hafsat says, we hope the protest will lead us to our demands. While Aliyu says, Nigerians are in trouble. There is nothing put in place by the government to reduce the hardship. Ikokwama in Kuba says, if I were to ask, it's not the day Tinubu entered office, or is it not the day he entered office that the governor of Abia State did the same? And he's not asking us to give him more time. He's working. Go to Abia State. You will not believe your eyes. That is someone that wants to work, is what Ikokwama says. And social comrade Efodu says, the federal government, for them to have allowed the economy to descend to the level that people started protesting reveals that the federal government are very insensitive and not sympathetic to the feelings and sufferings of Nigerians, especially the masses who are in overwhelming majority. I don't want to believe that the government did not know that after stopping fuel subsidy and floating the naira, the hardship will be too much for us to bear. This raises a very important question. The question is, why must our leaders be so far away from the lead, especially when they, the leaders, are not going hungry like the rest of us? This to me is quite inhuman and un-African, unacceptable, and therefore should not quite what that, I'm not sure what that means, but we have all manners of misrule because we have lost our core values as Africans, which is encapsulated on the Ubuntu philosophy of Swahilian people. We have to Africanize to come out of the woods, is what Comrade Fodu says.
Have you gone through YouTube?
YouTube, not yet, no.
Okay, then Simon Matthew TV, we see you being busy on YouTube. Thank you very much. The president should bring back the payment of fuel subsidy until they have put in place measures. It's obvious most of the issues around the hardship is tied to subsidy removal And the issue on ground is not scarcity, if you ask me. It's the cost of things that keep going up. Fuel subsidy payment should come back. For those in power asking us to be patient, can they also stop collecting their allowances until they provide a reasonable solution to the nation's problem? And he also said, answer stayed like this: I hope this wouldn't be worse since hunger is involved. President Tinubu should do the needful now, is what he said. And when you ask for the needful, what is it? Just bring back subsidy. I feel like so much has changed that just bringing back what we consider as the bringing back and the removal of it, whatever it is we think the situation is right now, I pretty much doubt is going to solve the issue at this point. But, you know, we're free to make demands. It's a democracy, isn't it? And then Gabriel Ide said the president must, as a matter of urgency, return the subsidy. All right, 2-3 people have spoken. Who am I to argue with them?
We have our refineries as well, which is
Bring
still
back subsidy.
a pending issue. And if our refineries get working, we'll see that the pricing of fuel is likely to come down. Even though in the past, the GMD of NNPCL said that is not a factor that might lead to the reduction in price of fuel. But there's the hope that once our refineries are working optimally, that could happen, and we'll see, things get to change. So,
to lift things up, your spirit a bit, I guess we're going to play Give Me Hope, Joanna. Give me hope, Joanna. You need to get hope from somewhere, because all of this sounds pretty grim at this point in time.
Yeah.
Let's hear this caller. Oops.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah. My name is Jerry.
Welcome, Jerry. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is our hardship. This is Nigeria problem. I don't think this our president have the solution. Honestly. All the promise according to Obasanjo and Malen. All the promises when this man enter, he doesn't have the solution. And I don't know how Nigeria will come out from it. Honestly, you have entered second chance. I always tell people who is around me that the APC is under Buhari is the first chance. And this under Tinubu is the second chance. Honestly, tell me, by now, person cannot buy some, get something tangible which will feed his family. A kilo of gas now is 1,300. How we take a kilo? Not even 6 kilo, not even 7 kilo. Tell me, you cannot buy a loaf of bread at 1,000 naira now. Egg now, how much is egg? Everything does look high. No any solution. It's only promise. I just pray, make this thing end well. Let Nigeria end well. Protests are going now. Let it not come be Arab Spring. But because the protest of Nigeria now, we can never be like that, because Nigeria is very, very tribalistic, religionist. Honestly.
All right.
All right,
very,
then.
very, very bad.
Okay, so we understand totally. You just do not even need to make up words for it. We understand you completely. But the thing is, what to do about it? If you're just joining the roundtable, we're looking at some of the big issues. We looked at the cost of living and what can be done in the shortest possible time to, strengthen the purchasing power of the average Nigerian. We also looked at, the call for importation of food by some people because they believe that is what we would need. They were not self-sustained, even though the government did say, we're not going to do that. We're not going to import food. And quite a number of callers have said, the food supply is not the problem. It's their pocket, their wallet, and their purses. Coming out with the money is the challenge, because the one they have, there's so much, demand on the little resources they have. I'm almost sounding like Adam Smith now, the father of economics. Demand and supply. You have a lot of demand, but your wallet supply is minimal.
I mean, how much can you even get once you go to the market right now with 100,000?
You heard the guy was telling about gas. If you could use 50,000 to buy quite a number of things, it has slimmed down now. You can do less with it at this point in time.
It will make you worry and wonder what exactly is going on if you were to go shopping and then you leave the market and you're wondering what you're holding, because the bags are not as packed as they were a couple of years ago. The average price of rice, egg goes for I think 300 naira.
The interesting thing, men now know the price of food in the market. Who is with me? Glory.
We've always known.
See, economic hardship. All the callers are men. They now know price of potato, 1 kilo of meat. All of a sudden, Nigerian men know the price of food. Back then, they don't know. Even, see, look at Dick in here. He wants to, okay, give me list. What would you have been saying?
But
People now know, yeah?
People know. Yeah, everyone knows. Everyone is being intentional right now as to how they spend, what they purchase, and how long it would even last. Are they having to even ration what they have in their houses? And it's a cause for concern, because
True.
you're not even living well. You're worrying about a lot of things. You're going to work. There's also the worry that some people might not be getting paid in good time because businesses are struggling to keep afloat. Some are even shutting down because they're not doing as well as they would have loved to, and having to spend more money than usual in running that business. So it's just a lot for the average person to have to handle. And that's why the government needs to do something and be very intentional in communicating to the Nigerian person that this is what's happening, this is how long it would take, and this is what you should expect in the time being.
Indeed. All right, talking about getting paid, well, I think ASU are the ones who will be cashing out pretty soon, because the government began payment of withheld ASU salaries, the one they had during the strike. I think the government is at this point being magnanimous to saying we're going to pay that one up. Did you read the messages on Facebook?
Yes, I did.
All right, then. So let's look at, we have time, we'll take some more calls.
Welcome.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Jacob.
Welcome, Jacob.
This issue of high cost of food, we know this now, just that we are not talking because things are easy. We give little money to our wives, they buy something that are sufficient to carry the house. But now that we give something to our wives, nothing will come out of it. That's why we are saying, not that we didn't know over this time.
Really?
That is by the way. All I know concerning this food scarcity, if it takes a long time, because this insecurity that's here on ground, most of the people in the villages that are feeding this country, most of them are IDP. And not only that, those that are even not there, they cannot go back to their village to go and farm. Even though they go now, how many months will it take before they can produce food that will be enough for us to eat? It will take a long time. So what we should do is that, like some that are advocating that those essential food that are necessary are regular food here in Nigeria. If there's a way of importing from somewhere where to augment the little one we have here, I think it's better, because we continue to think that we must have our own. It will take a very long time. Food is not something you just plant today, tomorrow you collect it or you have result. No, it takes months before it will be so. So I'm of the same side with those who say that government should open importation of some essential food.
Essential food like what?
Like the rice.
Here we go again. That means we're going to upturn all of the... No, but don't you think, Jacob, that is going to upturn all of the effort we've put into rice production in the country? If we allow for that kind of excessive importation like we're doing it in the past, it defeats the aim of the initial plan.
It will be controlled. It cannot just be total. Say anybody just import anyhow. It should be controlled.
You honestly believe that the government is capable of that level of control, that Nigeria can effect it?
Which means that's what is happening in the oil industry. Mr. President said that he knows those that are fighting the effort of this oil subsidy. Instead of him to fight them, he's afraid of fighting them. He knows them. So he knows them. Mr. Tinubu knows them. He said it, I had him.
All right then.
So it's just that he cannot fight them. He's afraid. Such person is not fit to be a good leader. He cannot lead if you are afraid. People die because of their country. At the end of the day, their name will remain in the Guinness Book of Records for the country that's the force of their country for progress. This man is afraid. He cannot do anything. He better resign as what people are talking.
All right then. So have we had a more courageous president in the recent past? If you're saying this president is afraid to addressing certain things, refresh my memory of what president has been able to deal in real time with the issues contending against its government. Go back to Buhari, go back to Goodluck Jonathan, for example.
Go back to Obasanjo as well. I think, but then again, what do we define as being courageous. It's something that we also need to understand. And there have been calls constantly for the list and the names of those who are maybe sponsoring terrorism to be put out there, and for them, to go through the law and be tried and all that. But we haven't quite seen any action being taken. I think that's why a lot of Nigerians are not trusting of the government enough, because if you know these persons, and this is something that the whole country is grappling with, what is holding you back from taking the action that is required to cause a change in the country? I think that's a little bit of a problem for everyone right now.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Itodo and Kim.
Welcome. God bless you.
Yeah, this is Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I'm calling from Life Camp right now. Itodo, you see this, whether protest or no protest, me and my people we will not be part of it. But having said that, I think there's something I want to tell you that happened yesterday. One of my friends came to meet me where we start that, usually weekend like this. We sit down somewhere, try to get ourselves. This guy now met me and told me that he's Oga, who is actually one of the richest men in this country. But he's just a security man in that man's house. That your guy carried 2 million naira give him, saying the man that's 2 million naira because of the way things are. It's when they think of what he will use the money to make and come meet me. Say whether not to build a house or to buy a car. You know what I said, the guy? I told him the answer I gave to this guy was one of the above. None of the above. Because I told him that if you doubt me, go and ask how much they are selling bag of cement. That money will go down inside the foundation. It will not come out. And then, of course, car. If you carry 2 million naira and help me push and start. If you buy it 1.1 million, maybe you use the remaining 900,000 to try and start fixing it. At the end of the day, you will not come out of it. So what am I trying to say?
Nobody's coming out of this your scenario at this point, Chris. Nobody's coming out of this your scenarios at this point, though. Whether na foundation, whether na car, they are done for.
Yes, for him to carry 2 million naira, I had to go and build a house. He was just asking me as if it's just a nosy thing. In fact, he does not understand what is going on in Nigeria. A bag of cement is looking the direction of 10K. So if you want to go and start building a house...
And above.
My dear, that 2 million go inside foundation, you go come out. Or if not to buy a car, which car? Even at 3 million naira, you buy a car, my brother, na grace of God, now you go take a move. So if you reach, come back, the exhaust will follow you come, or the whole tire will follow you come. That means you are lucky. Hello?
We're listening to you, Chris. All right. We can hear you.
We can hear you, Chris.
I told him, I just gave him an advice. Please, carry that money, go small, then small shop, let you start small business for your wife, first and foremost, so that they will see food they chop for her. If you no chop, no wahala, meet me for outside, then I can buy you drink or buy you chop. For that 2 million, carry and give you your madam. If not, this way they see they come like this, now 8 years old.
All right.
8 years, now they see, so all this complaint no solve anything.
All your advice is on point, but I buy him drink. I don't know why a lot of people did there. Give him the money, give him the capital. You tell him, come on, make me buy you a drink at the end of the day. But it's a statement of fact, actually, what Chris said about the worth of 2 million naira back in the day. You have 2 million, you're referred to as a multi-millionaire because you don't pass one, you don't enter two. But what's the true value of 2 million right now? What can you truly? It's a significant amount of money. But how significant? I mean, he was trying to talk about getting a car. Yes, you can actually still get, a car.
But that's a lot of work for you.
Yeah, like
you would have to go to the mechanic every other day to get that car sorted out.
But building a house with 2 million is completely off, except it's a shack you want to build somewhere in Abuja or my village.
Or maybe he's got land somewhere and he can just develop the land without having to buy,
He's a big boy if he's got that already.
Well.
All right, then. So... let's see. I think
we've got some time to take some messages.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
Right, going on to the WhatsApp platform right now. Let's take some of your reactions to the stories we've gone through so far. And Comrade Chris Ezeocha in Madala says long queues in our filling stations where the man aims at too many things. He ends up missing his target. The government should make our refineries functional as to save us from these nightmares. We are tired of living in fantasies while progressing in error. The government should be visionary and focused. Its teaching time saves 9. And Nigeria is not broke. With sincere leadership, prudent management, and selfless service, we will have enough for everyone. Our leaders must sit up and cut down the cost of governance. God bless Nigeria, is what Ode Tony Ngwampa says. And Obedient Man the Maker says, what we are seeing now is what you get when incompetent people are managing their affairs. I have said it before and I'm repeating it right now. Even if you give 30 years, nothing might change. We need to fulfill long time and personal ambitions. Okay. All right. Emeka, that's a good place to leave that message. It's puzzling hearing the president and the governors coming out of their political meeting last week with the communique of not importing food in the means of high level of food scarcity. What is the agenda of this present government? It's to continue what's happening with Nigerians. Okay. All right. Ibrahim in Brary, thank you very much.
Did you take that or Peter Omen on Facebook?
Not yet,
importing
no.
rice and other food items are the best thing to do now, because the good effort of our federal government is not enough to solve our food problem. Moreover, many people can't even farm because of high cost of farming at this point. Plus, the security challenge, remember? All right, we'll take a break for the news at the top of the hour. Dorcas is standing by for that. And afterwards, we'll get talking some more. Something interesting that will drop your jaw happened. We'll share that with you in a bit.
Can I have your attention, please?
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
This is Nigeria